everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of the Norwenglish Knitter Knitting Podcast. My name is Lizzy and I'm coming to you from Bergen in Norway. You will find me here on YouTube and on Instagram as the Norwenglish Knitter, and you can also find me on Ravelry as LizzyHut94, which I'll have written down below. I'll also put today's show notes in the description box down below, as well as on my Ravelry group, the Norwenglish Knitter Knitting Podcast, which you can find on Ravelry. And I think that's my normal introduction. It's been I think about 2 months since I last recorded this podcast, so I might be a little bit rusty today. But yeah, there's been quite a lot going on. So I thought to start with I'll just give a little bit of an update. If you're here just for the knitting content, I'll put a timestamp down below. I won't be offended, that's totally fine. But I thought I would just explain where I've been and what I've been up to in the time since my last podcast. So I think I recorded my last podcast at the beginning of July. And shortly after that, both me and my husband had some time off work. So that was really nice and really definitely needed. If you hear any noises, I'll explain that in a minute. So part of our holiday was spent doing a little road trip. So originally our plan was to drive to England in the summer and spend some time there visiting family and friends. But unfortunately, because of COVID, we had to make the very sad decision to stay in Norway this summer, which was really disappointing for me. I haven't seen any of my friends or family since January, I think. So yeah, I miss them all a lot and I would have loved to go, but it just didn't feel right, and also it wasn't until the last minute that we found out that we would have been able to go without quarantine anyway. So I think we made the right decision for us. But part of the reason that we were going to drive to the UK in the summer was because we were going to pick up my dog. Well, mine and my mum's dog. So me and my mum decided that she should come and live here with us. My mum works a lot, and it was difficult for her, for my dog, being home alone a lot of the time, and my mum was having to spend quite a lot of money on for someone to look after her in the daytime. So it made more sense for her to be here with us because I'm home a lot more of the time. And we've been wanting to get a dog for a little while anyway. So it was really exciting. We drove across to the other side of Norway to Oslo, where we would pick her up from the airport. So we made a little road trip out of it, and yeah, it was really fun. So I'm going to introduce you to her now. This is Tilly. Ooh. Tilly, sit. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. You want to see your beautiful face. This is Tilly, and she is a 9-year-old miniature poodle. So yeah, I love her a lot, and it's lovely having her here. She loves giving me lots of cuddles and attention. So me and my mum got her when she was a puppy, when she was about 8 weeks old, and she's lived with me and my mum for the first 7 years of her life, and then I moved to Norway, so she's lived with my mum for the past 2 years, and now she's going to live here with me and my husband. And we're really enjoying having her here. So that is what we did in the month of July. And you will have seen some clips at the beginning from our road trip, some of the fjords, and it's just really beautiful nature here in Norway to see. And after that, let's see, August, I don't really know, just time's kind of flown by. I've been doing a little bit of work and lots of knitting, of course, and just generally trying to relax a little bit. So yeah, another reason why it's been a little while since I recorded is I know that there's been some feedback from some of my videos about the sound and just the quality of the videos in general, and I really wanted to take that feedback on and try and improve the videos as much as possible. So I was kind of putting off recording the next one because I wanted it to be as good as possible, really. So I've been putting it off, and I've just decided that I'm going to record anyway. It might not be 100% perfect, but this is what I can do right now with the equipment that I've got. It's not possible for me to get an external microphone for my camera, and of course I could record on a laptop or a tablet or something like that, but then I feel like the video quality would be reduced, and I'm not sure how much that would improve the sound anyway. So if you are having issues with the sound, I'm really sorry about that, but for now there's not much I can do. I hope that you will still stick around and watch my episodes. I've got a lot of knitting to talk about, lots of exciting things coming up, and maybe in the future I'll be able to improve it a little bit, but for now this is what it is. I hope you can appreciate that, but do keep leaving feedback and leaving comments down below. I really appreciate all of the comments and all the feedback. So I guess we can get on to the knitting content today. I've got a few finished objects, and I think one work in progress at the moment. So let's get started. The first thing I have, let's start with a hat. So I've got a few bits on the floor next to me here. This is a hat that I've shown a couple of times before that you might remember. It's called the Winter Forest Tam Hat by Ruskin's Notes. If I'm looking this way, it's because I have my notes written down here. And this is a free pattern made with fingering weight yarn. And I used basically just a lot of scraps that I had of Drops Alpaca in lots of different colours. So I've got kind of some warmer tones and some cooler tones mixed together, which for me was a bit outside of my comfort zone. I didn't really have a plan for this one when I started. It's obviously knit from the bottom up, and I just picked the colours as I went and hoped that it would turn out well, and I really am actually in love with this a lot. I'll pop it on so you can see what it looks like and how it fits. This is the exact kind of fit and style of hat that I like. I quite like the fact that it's quite a thin fabric, so it will be good for kind of a transitional piece in the autumn and springtime. And yeah, it was really fun to knit. Great thing about knitting hats is they're relatively quick. So I knit it in the round on circular needles. I can't remember what size needles. I'll have it all on my projects page, which I will link down below. But yeah, I'll show you the top of the hat as well. I think it's really pretty. I really love this design. Like I've said in previous episodes, I think there's one or two mistakes in one of the charts, but I've got the details about that on my projects page, so if you want to make this, it's not a big deal, it's just a couple of the squares are supposed to be a different colour. And yeah, I might even make more of these in the future because, I mean, it's just so cosy and it's a great way to use up scraps as well. I still have a lot of the scraps left that I used for this, so I might make another one, but obviously with different different colour combinations. And I've also got another hat to show. I think I've got it down here, 1 minute. Okay, so this is a hat that I've designed myself, and it's made out of Lang Yarn's Kylie, which I've shown before. I don't think I've got any here next to me, but you can see it's quite a textured yarn with lots of different flecks of colours in it. And I have held this together with a mohair. So I used the Dale Kidsilk Erle mohair. I'll have the colour down below, but it's this really vibrant orange. And yeah, I'm relatively happy with how this has turned out. The shape of it is a little bit, I don't know, mushroomy, if that's a word. I really love the bottom of the hat, but I'm not 100% happy with how it looks at the top with the decreases. So this is a pattern that I'm going to keep working on and maybe try again in some other yarns and things like that. I do like it, but it's just not 100% perfect yet. I'll definitely still use it. I think it would look nice with a big pom-pom on the top or something. But I think I want it to be a little bit tighter fitting, but a little bit more slouchy on the top. So I just need to do some maths and try and work that out a little bit. So I held the Lang Yarn's Kylie, which I think is a DK weight yarn. I'm not really sure, but I held it double, and then I held this mohair in sections of it. So it's a bit kind of almost like colour work, and that means that on the inside it's really warm and cosy because it's got those floats of the mohair running through. I actually held the mohair double as well, so it's really kind of squishy and cosy. So that part of it I really love. And I think this hat in total cost around £20-ish to make with just the materials. That's just an estimate because I had 2 skeins of the Lang Yarn's Kylie, and I didn't quite finish both of them. I still have some left, and the mohair was like a really small amount from some leftovers that I had. So this hat could be made with so many different types of yarn, so it could be a great project for all budgets, and you could have quite a lot of fun with it. You wouldn't have to necessarily use mohair. You could skip the mohair altogether. You could use, if you're holding DK double, you could switch out one of the strands for another colour for this colour section. So lots of options. So I'm definitely going to work on this a bit more and hopefully write this one up as well. So that's the 2 hats that I've done. Another not work in progress, another finished object that I have is this top that I'm wearing. I'll just pull my cardigan down so you can see it a bit better. This is the Camisole number 2 by My Favourite Things Knitwear, which I think she's a Danish designer. And this is a paid for pattern. I think I paid around £5, so it's, you know, quite an expensive pattern. And I knit this in a size large, I think, after doing my swatching and working out my tension and things like that. And I've knit this out of, this is also Lang Yarn's Kylie in a different colourway. This is the, I think it's called silver, although to me it definitely runs more beige than silver. And I can't remember how many skeins I used, I think 3 or 4. So I think this top would have cost around, I guess between £25–30 using this yarn. Obviously you could use any, I think it's a either a fingering or DK weight, I can't remember exactly. The only thing I have to say about this pattern is it's not very size inclusive. There's small, medium and large, and I knit the size large, when normally I would be a medium. Now I knit the size large because I wanted a little bit of positive ease, especially around kind of the tummy area, which I did get, and I'm happy with that. But I do think there could be more options for sizes on there. That being said, I really love this top. It's quite flattering. I really like the design at the top. I wear a lot of strap tops like this all year round, to be honest, because I don't regulate my body temperature very well, so a lot of the time I can be really hot, and I like having something that I can, when I take my layers off, then it's a bit more breathable. Like t-shirts and things, I find that I get a lot more hot and sweaty in those sometimes, so I really like strap tops like this. I do see myself knitting this again in the future, maybe out of a different yarn, maybe something a bit more summer friendly. So yeah, overall I really like this pattern. I think if I knit it again, I might knit it in the size medium, because it's just, you know, a little bit on the baggy side. Not that that's an issue. It's better for it to be a little bit oversized than too small. But if I knit it again, I'd probably go for a size medium. So yeah, really like this one. And I think that's all the finished objects I have for now. I do have a half finished object, which is this sock that I have shown before. This is the Prikkesokker from Rauma Designs, and I'm knitting this with the Sandnes Sisu yarn. I'll have the colours written down below. But yeah, really like these. I had a bit of difficulty where the gusset decreases are, to try and keep the colour work pattern, but I think I did a relatively good job. Trouble is, I finished these quite a while ago, and I can't remember exactly how I did that part of it, so when I come to the next one I'll have to work it out all over again, but yeah, hopefully I can get the other one to look good and match as well. So I always do a top down sock. I've done about an inch of 1 by 1 rib, and then I've done kind of a couple of inches of the leg, and then I've done an eye of partridge heel, and heel flap, heel turn gusset, and then I've done, I can't remember exactly how long the foot is, but I just measure it against my foot as I'm knitting, and I make it a little bit shorter than I normally would, because I like my socks to have kind of a tight fit. That's just my personal preference. So I'll have to get the next one cast on soon, because I've got a lot more socks that I really want to make. Okay, so I'm just looking at my notes here, and I lied, I do have another finished object that I'd completely forgotten about. So I will hold this one up for you. And this one is a very exciting knit. So somebody I know is pregnant, and that means that I can start knitting baby clothes, which I'm really excited about. This is the Baby Yoke Sweater by Eweknit Toronto, and it was about, I think it costs, yeah, $9 Canadian. I actually got this pattern for free because when I was watching the Grocery Girls podcast, they had a code that you could use for about a week to get this pattern for free. So I snapped this one up quickly, and oh, it's just so cute. I've knit the size 6 to 12 months, and I mean, what else is there to say about it? It's so cute, and on the back it's got little button fastening here, so you can fit it easily over the baby's head. I just need to pop a button here, but I've got the buttonhole done. So I knit this out of Dale Baby Ull, or baby wool, and it's a DK weight yarn. It's a DK weight pattern, and I bought I think 6 skeins in total of yarn, because you need the different colours. So in that sense it's not the most affordable project, because you need to get those skeins for the colours, but I do have quite a bit of yarn left over, which means that I can make something else out of it, maybe hat, mittens or something like that, maybe even matching this one. I think they're about £4 per 50 gram skein, so yeah, that would come to £24 in total. But like I said, I do have quite a lot of yarn left over. So yeah, I've pretty much followed the colours that were in the picture in the pattern, not being very original, but I really liked the way that it's kind of gender neutral. At the moment, we don't know, or the person who's having the baby doesn't know the gender of the baby, and so I wanted to knit something that would be good for either gender. And yeah, really good pattern, really well written. I think they have sizes from 3 months up to 4 years, so a nice range there, and yeah, I really like this one. It's very cute. So that is my last finished object. And then I just have one work in progress to show today, and that is my Lunae shawl by Natasja Hornby, which I've shown a couple of times before, and I'm so close to finishing this one now. I'll see if I can hold this up without the yarn going everywhere. Bear with me 1 minute. Ooh, knock the camera. Okay, let's see. If I hold it up this way. No, hold it up this way. Trying to figure out which way around it goes. Here we go. Okay, I hope you can see that well. It's quite big, which I really like. I like to have a nice big shawl that you can wrap around properly. And it's got quite a good thickness to it, because I'm knitting this out of the Hillesvåg Ask yarn, which is a, I think, sport / DK weight yarn, somewhere between the two maybe. It's 100% Norwegian wool, and they have so many different colours. It's really, really, really lovely yarn. If you like really woolly, kind of rustic yarn, then this one is really great. So I've picked 3 different colours. I've gone for this kind of almost like a pearl, like a somewhere between white and really, really light grey. It's got some flecks of white grey in there. I don't know if you can see that. And I've also gone for a light blue and a darker blue as well. And I'll have those written down below. So the only reason I haven't finished this is because I was getting to the end of a couple of the skeins I was using, and I hadn't wound any more yet, and I was kind of putting that off for a little bit. But I finally wound the next 2. How pretty are these? I mean, I'm really proud of myself for these, because I hand wound these. I don't have a yarn swift or anything like that will wind it for me, so that's why I was putting it off, because I knew I had to do it by hand. But yeah, I'm definitely getting better at the hand winding, and once I get into it, then it's okay. It actually feels quite therapeutic, but like the thought of starting it is a bit daunting sometimes. Like, you've got to wind, I mean, they're 100 gram hanks of yarn, so But yeah, this one hopefully I'll have finished next time. I just absolutely love the design of this. It's got mosaic sections in it. It's my first time doing mosaic knitting, and I've definitely fallen in love with it. It just gives such an interesting pattern and design, and yeah, I'm really excited to finish this one. I'll probably work on it later tonight because yeah, I just really want to have it finished. I think it will be really great for the winter time. It will be really warm. It's definitely a little bit kind of toothy, but I don't think it's that scratchy personally, and I think with more wear and more use it will probably soften up a little bit as well. So yeah, the only other thing I would say about this pattern is it does require a bit of concentration. It's well written, but you have to keep referring back to the pattern quite a lot. So I don't mind that because the end result is stunning. So to me that's worth it, and I always have some projects on the go which are a bit more mindless and some which require a bit more concentration, like this one. So I can pick and choose whatever I'm feeling like at the time. Oh, and the other thing to say is this is a paid for pattern. I think it's about £5, which is so worth it. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I would really highly recommend this pattern, and I haven't even used it yet, so that's saying something. So I think that's everything for my knitting content today. It went a little bit quicker than I thought it would. I thought after 2 months it would be a really long episode. I like to keep them a little bit on the shorter side, so that I'm not rambling on too much and people hopefully don't get bored. I do still have a lot of plans for my knitting projects. I always have knitting projects that I want to do that are in my virtual queue, so to speak. I don't tend to use the queue on Ravelry so much. I just kind of keep it all in here, but there'll probably be a few more baby knits coming up. I have a few things that I've got my eye on that I would love to make, and maybe a couple of sweaters. I mean, summer's, although it pains me to say it, summer is almost over, and it would be good to start some more winter projects. There is a couple of other projects that I'm working on right now, which I'm not going to show because they are going to be gifts, so I don't want to show them just in case the person they are for is going to be watching. But I'm actually starting to get a grip on my Christmas gift knitting, which I'm quite proud of. I mean, it's only August and I'm already thinking about it. So that's good because it means I have plenty of time to finish them. So yeah, make sure if you're going to be doing gift knitting for Christmas, start early. It's the best way to go, I think. You don't want to be kind of rushing at the end. It's a little bit more stressful if you do it that way. So at least start thinking about it if you're going to. And yeah, I think that's everything I've got for today. So I hope not to leave it quite so long this time between episodes. Can't promise anything, you know, sometimes life just happens and time flies by, and then before you realise it, it's been, you know, 2 months like this time. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Come and join my Ravelry group. There's a thread on there that you can say hello. There's a thread you can show me pictures of what you're working on, or just discuss what you're either working on or what you want to be working on in the future. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from all of you, and look forward to seeing you next time.